Hi, welcome to Microsoft SQL tutorials. My name is Amir. This is part 5, create table, alter table and drop table in database. In this session, we will understand what is table, we will learn how to create a table and how to alter an existing table, and finally we will learn how to drop a existing table. Before starting this session, as prerequisite, please watch part 3 and part 4. First of all, we'll check it out what is table. A table is a collection of related data held in a structured format within a database. If you see on my screen, there is a table called employee details, which it is having employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining, gender. It consists of columns and rows. Each column is a field in a record, and there is a column name associated with each column. Each row represents one record. Next, we will check it out how to create a table. We can create a table in two ways. First, through GUI by using Object Explorer. Second, through query or command based. First of all, we'll check it out how to create table through graphical representation by using Object Explorer. First, let me switch to Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio by using SSMS. Once you have connected to the Microsoft SQL Server, expand the databases. And in the previous session, I have created employee DB as my database. Okay, expand employee DB. You have to right click on the tables, click on new table. This is the graphical representation to create a new table. If you see over here, I want to create an employee table with the employee ID as integer, employee name as varchar, that is nothing but string, salary again integer, date of joining, that I have to give it as date and time, gender I will give it as of now for the string. Right? So let me go back and let me create the column name. First, as the rules, there shouldn't be no spaces between two characters, right? Employee underscore ID. So I'm making it as int, and allows nulls is nothing but is it null or not. So as integer, I don't want to IDs, I don't want to allow nulls over here. Next, I'm going to give the column name as employee underscore name. I'm going to give it as varchar of max 50, and I'm going to allow null values. Okay, then salary, I'm going to give it as integer. Okay, next, that I'm having date of joining. This is nothing but, if you see over here, there's the date and time. If you want small date, small time, you can go ahead based on the characters. That's the reason I asked you before going to start this session, watch part 3 and part 4 videos. Just now I'm going to select it of small date and time, and I'm going to add gender. I'm going to give it as varchar of 10. Okay, and I'm going to save it. The name of the table that I'm giving it as tbl underscore employee, and I'm just clicking OK. Now if you go and expand the tables, I can see tbl employee, right? And I can go ahead and I can see the design over here. This is the same design what we are already having. This is one of the way that we are going to create table using graphical representation. There is another way, there is a second way that we can create the table by using query editor. Okay, if you see on my screen, I'm having the syntax to create the table. So the syntax is create table, table name, brackets, opening brackets, column name, that is column 1, data type, it is null or not, nulls or not null. In the same way, column 2, data type null or not, comma, column 3, data types, it is null or not, that you are going to specify it, and closing the brackets and semicolon. So this is the syntax for that one. So if you see over here, the table underscore name is the name of the table that you wish to create. Okay, column 1, column 2, the columns that you wish to create in the table. Each column must have the data type. The column should either be defined as null or not null. And if this value is left as blank, the database assumes as null by default. So if you're not specifying it as null or not, then it automatically takes as a null by default. Okay, I'm having an example. We have already created TBL underscore employee. Now I want to create one more table saying employee personal information, which it is having employee name as varchar 50. In that I'm having age and email ID. The SQL developer has to already defining what are the things that I want to define it. Right now, let me switch to SQL Server Management Studio, and I'm going to creating through query. So I'm pressing new query over there. It will open a new tab over there on my screen. If you see already the employee DB is already there. Okay, if it was in the master, just that is the reason part 3 that I've asked you to watch. Use employee DB that I'm navigating to employee DB. Okay, and click F5 to execute it. Now you can see the employee DB, you have navigated to employee DB. Now you are ready to go and create the table in the employee DB. Okay, so as I said, okay, I'm going to create a table with the employee personal information, right? So create table, table name, I'm going to wish it as employee personal information. Personal info, I'm going to start the bracket, and then I'm going to give the column names, right? So I'm going to give it a employee underscore name. It's varchar of 50. If I'm not going to specify any value, any default value, it will take it as a null value. Okay. Now I'm going to create selected, and I have created employee name. If I want age as int. By default, it will be selecting as a null. So I'm not specifying it. Okay, email ID as varchar of 50, or else I will specify it as nvarchar of 50. Nvarchar of 50. So it won't allow null. So that what I'm going to do, I'm specifying not null. Okay, and this is the table which I want to create. Okay, and I'm selecting it, execute the query. So let me go to the employee DB, and I'm just refreshing once because I can't see the table over here. If you see right now, the employee personal information has been created. Now let me go through the design, and you can see employee name varchar of 50, age int, integer data type, and it allows null. Okay, see, that is the thing, right? If I have not specified any value, any column defined over there, it will by default it will take it as a null. Okay, now employee ID and varchar of 50. Okay, it won't allow null. That's a not null that has specified it. Till now, we learned how to create a table by using graphical representation as well as the query editor. Now we are going to modify the columns in existing tables. So alter table the statement is used to add, delete or modify columns in an existing table. If you see the syntax on my screen, that alter table table name add column name data type. This statement is used to add the column an additional column to the table. The below one alter table table name alter column column name data type. So this one is used for, and suppose if I'm having any data type I have given as a wrong for the particular column, or the size I have mentioned as by mismatch, so that we can use alter table table name alter column column name data type. So if I want to drop any column from the existing table, then I will use alter table table name drop column column name. Let me switch. Let me switch to Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Already I have created two tables, right? One is in employee DB. If you see the tables, one is employee personal information and the one table employee. Let me first of all let me add a column to the employee personal information. What I will add? I will add the location or the place which he is living. Let us assume I'm going to add alter table name as employee personal info. I'm going to add a column name. What is the column name? I will say the country name. It is varchar of 50. I want to add as an additional column to the employee personal information. Let me execute it. Let me see in the personal information. Let me go to the design, and if you see over here, I have not mentioned any type further. If you see country name varchar of 50, that is allows null values. Okay, now I want to alter an existing column for the data type, right? So if you see over here that I'm already having a column of employee name which is varchar of 50. Now I want to alter the column name. So what I will do, the syntax is simple. I want to add table, sorry, alter employee personal info. I'm going to alter what is the column name, employee name of which data type, alter column. I have to mention column employee name. So previously it was varchar 50. Now I'm going to mention it as varchar of 100. Okay, and it is not null. Okay, now if once I'm going to alter or modifying the existing column over here, let me see what will happen. So let me close this. Let me go ahead and go up for the design. If you see over here, the varchar of 100 has been already has modified. So this is alter column name. So I want to drop a column name from the existing table. What is the syntax? Alter table name, drop column name. Alter table name is employee personal info is the table name. What I want to do, I want to drop column name is, let's assume I want to drop email ID. So I will go for the email underscore ID. Let me check. So I'm going to execute it once. Now let me go for the design again. Let me, oh sorry, this is not refresh. If you see over here, the employee, sorry, email ID has, I don't find the email ID over here in the table. Okay, this is the way that we are going to modify alter table name, add country for to add a new column. If I want to alter the data types for an existing, we're going to use alter table name, alter column. If I want to drop an existing column, then I'm going to use alter table name, drop column name, whatever the column name that what we are having. Okay, so as of now that we have seen to modify the existing columns in the table. But let's assume I want to rename the employee information. I want to rename the table name itself. So as of now, we don't have any alter statements, but we are having sp underscore rename is the thing that what we are having. See, right now the employee personal info is the table name that what we are having. I want to rename that. So how can we do sp underscore rename? The old name is that employee personal information, right? And then I want to modify it to the new name that is employee personal info. Employee, just example employee. Let us assume this is the employee. Let me sp underscore rename old name as well as the new name and then go ahead and execute it. So caution it will shows because in future that we will learn, I know, the stored procedures and all the things. Before that, if you're going to be changing, if they're the table name that if you're changing, be cautious over there. So it will break the scripts over there in the stored procedure and somewhere else in the views, all the location. Okay, that is the caution, but it has been successfully renamed. Let me refresh it. If you see over here, the employee, the table name has changed from employee personal info to employee. What is the syntax? SP underscore rename old table name, comma, new table name. This is the syntax what we are having. Okay. So now this is all about the how to modify or how to alter the columns as well as the table names. Now we will check it out. What is truncate table? Okay, if we switch to the presentation, so there is the one more thing, truncate table. Truncate table statement is used to delete the data inside a table, but not the structure of the table. Okay, what is the mean by that? So let me assume as of now that what I'm going to do in the employee table, I'm going to insert some data. So first of all, I'm going to insert some data. I'm not using the query editor, just simply going ahead editing top 200 records. Okay, now if you see the employee name that I will give it as, okay, Alan. Okay, age is 10 and the country name is USA. Okay, I have caps locked on. Okay, fine. Now the next one is Julie. I'm going to give it as 20 and the country is UK. And now that I'm going to add one more record as Rohit and the age is 25 and country is India. So, and I'm going to save it the total data. Okay, now if you see again, let me go to employees, select top 2000 records that I can see there are some data over here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to truncate the table. So as we discussed, the truncate is nothing but we are going to delete the data inside the table, but not the structure of the table. Let me show you. Truncate table. What is the table name? I'm having employee is my table, right? And I'm going to execute it. So the command has been executed successfully. Now if you see, I'm going to execute the same query again over here. Now if you see, there is no data. In the way means, so as we said, it will delete the data. Truncate table is nothing but deleting the data internally inside the table, but not the structure. Now let me go to drop table. So drop syntax, drop table. Table name is nothing but employee. So before going to execute this, I'm going to insert some data over there in the employee. I'm going to edit it and again I'm going to add one record over here with the saying Roshan and I'm saying either 25 and I'm giving it country as India. Okay, now I have saved it. Now if you see over here, I'm having one record over here, right? Let me go through that. Let me select top 1000 records. I can see one record over here. But if I'm going to drop table, including it will delete the structure of the data. Let me go ahead and drop it. Nothing but you can't see the employee information at all, employee table at all. Let me refresh it. If you see over here, it has deleted the structure including the data and I don't find the select star from the employee table. See the invalid object name because of invalid object name employee db.dpo.employee it is showing over there because of we have deleted the entire table. So in the sense along with the structure we have deleted along with data and structure we have dropped the table. Okay, truncate is nothing but simply it will go ahead and delete the data inside the table, but whereas drop table is nothing but it will delete the total structure of the table including the data. Okay, these are all the differences what we are having in the truncate table and drop table. In interviews they will ask you what is the difference for the truncate and drop. The simple difference is truncate will delete the data inside the table, whereas drop, it will delete the entire data as well as the structure in the table. So you don't find at all the employee table as I shown. Okay, this is all about the create table, alter table, and drop and truncated table in this session. We learn all these things in this session. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day.